Hello everybody, welcome back to IA Command. We've got another game log review for you all, and this is going to be a game featuring Mark, aka Manatee X, versus John, aka Pwned. And this was a game played a little while ago, actually at the beginning of November. As I said earlier this week, I am way behind on my game log reviews. I want to get those out to you guys. And this was played on, I believe, one of our early Wednesday tournament nights, or at least our attempts. And John and Manatee were the only ones who showed up, and they played a game, and this was the game, and they told me it was pretty good, or at least I think John mentioned to take a look at this one. So we've got Mark up here, and I am going to be showing the cards now in the preview window on the bottom left. I'm going to stop being lazy because I think a lot of you guys really benefit from that. So also I've seen the comment that the map was too small. I do like to have the windows surrounding the map there because it gives important information about the dice rolls and about cards in hand and deployment card status, knowing what's exhausted and what's readied. I think people really like having that information while they're seeing the gameplay, but I have zoomed in as much as I can on the map here, and I've moved the player scorecards to where they're still visible even though we're zoomed in really far. So hopefully that is helpful for you all. All right, back into it. And by the way, if you haven't seen, I have been posting Tabletop Admiral links to both players' lists in the video description of the game log review. So if you want to see the entire list on Tabletop Admiral, you can look through it, see all the card images for the list. You definitely should check out the video description, look for the Tabletop Admiral link for each player. All right, back into it. We've got Mark here playing as Empire, and we're playing a bit of a Riot Swarm here. In fact, it is actually a Riot Swarm. We've got 2 elite Riot Troopers, 2 regular Riot Troopers, and then we've got Thrawn, Moff, Gideon, as you can see there. We don't see him played as often. Came out in Season 6, I believe, and then of IACP, and then Imperial Officer with Advanced Comms, and of course Low Technique and Rule by Fear, Staples, and Empire lists. And he is playing against Pwned, who is playing, or John, who is playing a Trooper list, or Trooper Spies maybe. We've got Fenn Cygnus, who is from season, I want to say season 2. Another one we don't see very often, but it's actually quite potent. And I put him up on the screen for you all to see. We've also got Cassian, who we see quite a lot in IACP games. We've got Rebel Pathfinders with the Z6 squad upgrade, which you can see I've got on the screen. And then we've got Mac, Mern, Gideon, Argus, and R2D2. So no 3PO, but we do have Doubt and On a Diplomatic Mission and Motivation on Fenn. So that's the 1-point skirmish upgrade attachment that you can exhaust it during his activation, and another friendly figure that has line of sight to him can gain 1 movement point and recover 1 damage. And I believe also removes a harmful condition. So interesting that he cut 3PO to make room for On a Diplomatic Mission and Doubt. Usually you see as many focusers in the list as possible, but we'll see how that plays out here. All right, let me get my mouse off of there, and let's get into the gameplay. So this is the beginning of the game. It looks like nothing on Pwned's side is activated except for Gideon and R2, but that the reason we see the Pathfinders way out there is their special ability, the infiltration. After deployment, they each get to move up to 6 spaces. This works really nicely with Cassian, who gives out up to 4 damage power tokens to figures outside the deployment zone. So you combine those. They were originally designed to combine with Cassian, or I guess Cassian was designed to combine with them, since he came out in Season 5. These guys came out way back in Season 4. So we see that he has moved Cassian, the Z6, and the 2 Pathfinders out from the blue deployment zone. And by the way, we are playing on Abandoned Research here. So this is Tarkin Initiative Labs, and on this mission we have the 4 neutral mission tokens going down the middle of the map. Those are with 2 VPs at the end of each round for whoever controls them. And then there are 8 Rebel and Imperial tokens flanking them, and a figure can spend an action to pick up one of those tokens, and it adds an attack dice to its attack pool whenever it attacks during its activation based on the color of the objective token that it's carrying. So These riots are going to get scary pretty quick if they can start picking up tokens, and unless John can open his door and start applying pressure. I would expect that he would want to open his door since there's mostly melee figures on Mark's side, but it looks like he's going down to the middle instead by the terminal route. So let's see what happens. Alright, so we're seeing Intelligence Leak being played. Looks like by Mark, who discarded Faint for Rule by Fear, by the way. So who's activating? Okay, yeah, looking at John's hand, we see Urgency, Negation, Concentrated Fire, and Call the Vanguard. It looks like Mark's going to take Call the Vanguard and discard it. And then interestingly, we're seeing Field Promotion and Strength in Numbers being revealed here as well. Oh, so that's for the Strain. So it looks like he discarded to Strain. I'm guessing it must have been Moff Gideon activating because he is a spy. Because Thrawn is not a spy, so he cannot play Intelligence Leak. So he did discard Strength in Numbers and Field Promotion from the top of the command deck to take the Strain, the 2 Strain for the 2 points on Call of Vanguard. And yes, now we see Moff Gideon moving up. And maybe we'll see some sacrificing of these Riot Troopers for that Expendable Allies ability, which is quite powerful, gaining 4 VPs by sacrificing a friendly figure. Now we're going to see Myrn activating, going to use her ability to hide those 2 Rebel Pathfinders. Also quite good with the Z6, that is also green-yellow, that gets an autofocus, but can be targeted by Field Report. Officer is going to move up to the terminal, and now we see Mac moving up, not to the terminal, going to move all the way past the terminal, still in the blue deployment zone hallway though. And interesting that Mark has opened his doors to the treehouse, but John not opening his door to his deployment zone yet. Okay, Riot Troopers are moving in, and they're gaining their block power tokens for their shield ability. And now we're seeing the Pathfinders moving up pretty deep into enemy territory. That's positioning there for that Pathfinder, usually not very safe to leave him out in the middle, but Mark's only playing, other than Thrawn and Moff Gideon, he's only got melee units, so. Oh, and it looks like the Z6 has lined up an attack, possibly here, on this Riot Trooper. It does look like he has line of sight. Oh, no, I guess not. So he's going to move back. And now we're seeing Tough Luck. This is Thrawn. So it looks like Tough Luck revealed from the top of John's command deck by Thrawn. And most likely going to be discarded. Quite good against these elite riots that have a built-in reroll on their attacks. Gonna give out a evade power token to one of the riots, the elite riots that have not activated yet. And then gonna double move all the way up to the yellow objective token. They are very close to John's door. Alright, Cassian activating. Cassian was focused. Kind of interesting, Cassian and Moff both playing around in the sacrifice design space where they're sacrificing friendly figures to do things. Of course, Cassian's was really linked to that opening scene in Rogue One where he, spoiler, he has a fellow rebel that is trapped with him in a back alley, and he has to sacrifice, or he has to basically kill him because the Empire will find him. And he's crippled and he can't climb. But Moff Gideon, a little more ruthless than how he is sacrificing his allies. So it looks like that was the last activation. We've got Fen, and surprisingly, John did not open his door. Now, I say that he should have opened his door, but he definitely positioned his turn 0 such that he couldn't really capitalize on opening the door to the blue deployment zone, and by opening it, he kind of leaves a big opening for Mark to just kind of charge his figures into his deployment zone, those riots, and start clubbing him. Now, of course, the riots can just move up, open the door, and then start streaming in, but that's one more action that Mark will have to take to get to John, and John is positioning in the blue area, the hangar bay, at the southern part of the map, and going to start trying to shoot down into Mark's figures where they've positioned around the green objective. Alright, now we're seeing VPs being gained and Mark controlling 3 of the 4. So Mark now leading 6 VPs to 2. And it looks like Mark is going to go ahead and sacrifice one of those Riot Troopers to get 4 VPs, giving John 2 VPs for the cost. Since it is defeated, he does get the 2 VPs. I don't know why he's at 5 though. Should be at 2. The Riot Troopers are 2 points each. Ooh, alright, so John has initiative here, and I'm going to play Strategic Shift with Cassian, sending back 5 cards from Mark's hand into his deck, and only going to draw 2. So that's a pretty good play, and able to get the attack here. Could also get the bonus attack if he sacrifices the Pathfinder. Bonus attack, triple block. Going to do 5 damage there. Thanks to that Riot Trooper's block token that it gets from its shield ability. Okay, not going to go for the sacrifice play. I wonder if it makes sense to sacrifice just to finish off that Riot Trooper. But now the Riot Trooper is going to be able to activate. Oh, but Cassian gets a dodge, so no damage there. And there we go. The other Riot Trooper is going to open the door to the deployment zone. And Gideon needs to get the heck out of there. He's going to move away. And it looks like Thrawn activating, which is going to give reveal the top card of John's deck, which looks like, oops, it looks like it's Mac's command card, Shadow Ops. Another card we don't see very often. Interesting. Let's see, Mac in this list, because we said that 3PO is not here. Is Mac providing? Oh, Mac is the 3rd spy, so I think that's why we're seeing Mac being used here. Also great to play Strat Shift if you don't have a good activation. But yeah, he's the 3rd spy for Comm Disruption. Alright, so it looks like Mark discarded Tough Luck from the top of his deck for the Strain. Oh no, why would he? Interesting. He used Thrawn to discard his own Tough Luck and left Mac's command card. I feel like that's kind of the disrespect to Mac's command card. I feel like Mark saw that and was like, I'd actually rather just not draw my Tough Luck and force you to draw Mac's command card. Wow. And that's a 3-point card. Okay, now Thrawn is using his command card for C. So he gets to look at 2 more cards off the top. One of them is going to be Mac's card, right? So it looks like he forced him to discard Element of Surprise and was able to draw a card from C. And now we see Thrawn going to spend a power token, and he gets another dodge on Cassian. Oh, and a terrible attack roll too. So that's 2 dodges for Cassian now, and that's going to be, we saw in our last game with Loku dodging 3 times, made it almost impossible to come back from that. This is the 2nd dodge in a row from Cassian. But if you don't put the cards in to mitigate dodges, then you'll get punished by them when they happen. All right, so Fen activating, going to attack this Riot Trooper. Fen has built-in Pierce 1. Going to be very hard for this Riot Trooper to survive this attack. He's got Surge for... Well, he doesn't have Surge for anything, but he can Havoc shots. All he has to do is deal 1 damage with this attack. Is Zilla Technique still up? Zilla Technique still up. So actually, he's going to exhaust Zilla Technique. That's going to stop the Pierce. And actually, yeah, that's going to stop the damage. He can deal 1 damage with Havoc Shot, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Fen was not able to get the kill there on the 2 health Riot Trooper. with Zillow Technique being exhausted to reduce the Pierce 1 to 0. Okay, Mern activates 1, 2, 3, 4, is able to hide Mac and the Z6 within 4 spaces. Oh, Mern has the what is that called? On a diplomatic mission. Let me see if I can pull that up. Rebel. So that's why we saw that odd VP that I noticed earlier. It was the 1 point for on a diplomatic mission. So I think that means he should be up 2 more points, because I don't think he scored the 2 VPs from the Riot Trooper being defeated. Alright, so yeah, Mern used Autumn Diplomatic Mission to gain the VP since she didn't attack. And now we see the Riot Troopers starting to go into John's deployment zone. And it looks like going to contest the terminal there from R2. R2's going to activate and draw a card. Going for the attack on the Riot Trooper. Does R2 have bonus accuracy? I don't think so. Oh, it does have +2 accuracy. Okay, so it's going to do Pierce 2. It's actually 1 damage and stun. Oh, the Riot Trooper is going to discard a card for Zillow Technique, so that's going to prevent 0 damage and not going to be stunned. So discarded of no importance. Officer, push the Riot. The other Riots are activating. Still have Elite Riots and Moff Gideon that have not activated yet. Okay, so Pathfinder is going to pick up a green weapon token, still controlling that blue objective. And now going to go for the attack on the Elite Riot Trooper, it looks like. And does that finish it off? Yes, it does. If it did not miss, be forced to finish. Activate next if able. So if that Riot Trooper was the one that had not activated yet. Oh no, it did activate because it moved up to attack, so it's not going to work. Now we have the Z6 attacking. What is the Z6 attacking? Black defense die. Oh, it has. It's attacking the Riot Trooper. It looks like it has lots of. Oh, was that the Z6 was the one that finished off the Riot Trooper, and now it's attacking. Yeah, it's attacking Riot Trooper B. And it does have automatic blast 1, so that's nice. No, I was wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm thinking of CT. So Pathfinder finished off the damaged Riot Trooper. Now we just saw the Z6 use auto fire, which adds a white defense die to the first attack, but gives it the option to surge for a second attack. And that's going to finish off the Riot Trooper, and I believe it should do an automatic blast 1 damage to the officer as well. Yep, nice. And then now we're going to see the Pathfinder to finish off his officer. It is hidden. It did not bother to spend its damage power token, but I think that is enough to push through the 1 damage to the officer. So John takes out 2 Riot Troopers and an officer there in that single Pathfinder activation. And now we've got Moff Gideon coming out to take a shot at the Pathfinder. Good attack. That's going to be 5 damage, it looks like, if he has the range. 1, 2, 5. Ooh, is he 1 short? He's 1 short, so he's going to have to surge for that +2 accuracy and focus himself. 3 damage and focus. And now we're going to see Mac activate. Going to take a long range shot here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But he is focused and hidden. So he's got a chance on the accuracy. Gonna spend the power token. Block. Yep, he's got the accuracy. Great shot. He's got the surge to go through. The way is clear for Zillow technique, already being exhausted. So I think we're going to see critical hit, pierce, and does he have enough to finish it? I think, yeah, because Zillow technique will get pierced. So I think this is going to be a critical hit kill. I don't think that helps. It does not help. Oh, so that was, and then so reinforcements was this the card discarded by critical hit, and then that Riot Trooper dropped a red weapon there. John's cleaning up these Riot Troopers. Going into the next round, it is 14-10. No kills for Mark yet, all objectives. And he is going to be ahead on objectives again, it looks like. Assuming he sacrifices something to Moff Gideon. Which I think you should always do, because you're getting 4 VPs for nothing. But I don't think he's sacrificing this turn. Ooh, are we seeing Grenadier here? Okay, so Riot Trooper is activating. Mark has initiative. The Riot Trooper is going to play Grenadier. And there is a nice, juicy cluster of figures right there. Yep, he's going to target. Is that a Pathfinder there? Oh, that's Fen under there. So the Fen, and 2 damage to those 4 figures, which I think puts Mac at 1 health left. Yep. And now I've got another Riot Trooper going to come up. Oh no, so that was, now it's Fen activating. Picks up the red weapon. Fen is so good on this mission because of his tactical movement, so he can move, grab a weapon, and then still attack. And I'm going to go ahead and attack here. Oh, he's using Fen's special card? Oh no, this is concentrated fire. So he could probably have one of those. Have that Pathfinder. He can actually have either one, this Pathfinder or this Pathfinder. They both have line of sight to the target. He's going to have the nearer one take the stun. To add a red die to the attack. And I would be surprised if that does not kill. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pierce 1. He can stop the pierce. They have 7 health. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead, and we're going to see some Havoc shot and blast damage here. So blast 1 to Moff Gideon, and then Havoc shot to Moff Gideon and Thrawn. John goes up to 19 VPs against Mark. And now we've got Moff Gideon activating once again. Attacking Fen, spending a damage bar token. Oh, Fen just remembered to use motivation. Oh, he's attacking a Pathfinder, it looks like. I think he's got it. 4 damage. Yep, so it takes out the Pathfinder for 3 VPs. And now it looks like this is R2 attacking the Riot Trooper, dealing 1 damage. Stall for time being played by John. One of his leaders, probably Mern here. Oh, that was from the strain. I forgot that Riot Troopers. Well, actually, I don't know. Well, I saw a card go from Mark's hand, leave Mark's hand. So I believe that was played. Okay, Thrawn is activating. Probably going to give himself a surge. Did not give himself a surge token. Which I think means he's only doing 4, but that's enough to kill Mac for 3 points. Mark actually takes the lead here, 20-19. So many VPs from objectives. And from Moff Gideon's ability. Okay, Mern activating. Looks like she did go ahead and hide the Z6 and now going to attack the Riot Trooper there. That's contesting John's terminal. Oh, that's not going to do anything. No damage. Going to play Intelligence Leak. And the only card in Mark's hand is Negation. So John going to discard a card. Oh, he takes 1 damage from Intelligence Leak. So he discarded the only card in Mark's hand, and because it was a 1-point card, Mern had to take 1 strain and decided to take it as damage. Now that Riot Trooper is going to activate the regular Riot Trooper that was on the terminal, and he's going to run away. Oh, but Gideon's going to pick up the red weapon. And now, let's see, Cassian playing Urgency. Going to go for the double move to contest the yellow objective, which puts him in range of this Riot Trooper attack. Dodge again. Okay, not. I think a reroll makes sense here on the blue with Professional, but it looks like he's just going to take the 4 damage into Cassian, who should also be weakened and suffer a strain. So he took 5 damage total. And now the Z6 activating. And oh, that's the end of the file. So let's see what happened here. So that was the end of the round. So who's controlling what? Unless they're playing on a time limit. Contested, contested. And then these 2 are controlled. So that puts John at. Oh yeah, so he got 4. So there, that was it. That was the end of the round. That was the end of the game. I'm guessing they hit time in the round, and so that was the last round. And because John controlled those 2 objectives and contested this one, he went from being 1 point behind to being 3 points in the lead, winning the game. I know he won that game. So congrats to John. Very well played game. Really fun to see Moff Gideon in action there. His ability is very potent. The ability to basically gain 4 VPs for nothing. Like, because if you think about it, your cheap 2-point figures are going to die anyway. They just are going to die when something looks at them funny. So if you're getting 4 VPs for something that's already going to happen, that's 4 VPs from nothing. So I think Moff Gideon is still a little bit underrated in the community, but glad to see him being played here, and we got to enjoy this cool game against Pathfinders too, which we also don't see very often. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the game log review, and we'll catch you for the next one.